Our final two lessons in Chapter 1 deal with inequalities. In Lesson 1.6, we'll solve linear inequalities. A linear inequality is just an expression that has an inequality symbol. You'll always want your variable to be on the left. You'll have an open circle boundary if the direction of your arrow either goes to the left or right with no bar underneath. In that first rectangle, that arrow would mean less than as long as your variable is on the left-hand side. To the right, if your variable is on the left-hand side, that would mean greater than. When you plot your solutions on a number line, the arrow on your number line should match the direction of the arrow in your inequality. A closed circle boundary includes that bar underneath. When that happens, you would say it as less than or equal to. Same thing on the right, but greater than or equal to. Let's graph each of the following on a number line. X is greater than or equal to -3. So if we draw just kind of a real quick sketch of a number line, we put a few numbers on here just to give that spatial representation. So I'm just going to count by 2's over on the left-hand side. If X is greater than or equal to, that indicates a closed circle boundary, and we'll put that right at -3. X is greater than or equal to, that means anything to the right is greater than that value. On the other side, 4 is greater than X. This is a situation where you're going to want to rewrite that inequality with the variable on the left-hand side. So 4 is greater than X is equivalent to X has to be less than 4. Notice if I move the variable to the other side, if I'm rewriting this inequality, we flip the direction of the arrow. Since it points to the left, that means less than. And it has just the less than symbol, so that's going to be an open circle boundary. We'll sketch our number line. And maybe I'll put 0 here, +2, +4, +6. And then at +4, I'll put an open circle, recognizing that if X is less than, it's going to be anything to the left. You may run into a situation that has a compound inequality. There are two scenarios. If the variable is in between two boundaries, that means and. So X is greater than something and it's less than something. So it's in between. And your arrows will actually connect with each other and not actually have like an arrow symbol. And I'll show you in just a moment. If your inequalities are actually separated by the word or, then you're going to have two different locations on your number line and your arrows will go in opposite directions. All right, so here's what I mean by that. In that first example, X is in the middle, so it's in between the two boundaries. If you read it from inside out, X would be greater than -1 on the left, since the symbol is pointing towards the -1. That would be the smaller of the two. And X is less than or equal to 2. As we create our number line, we need to make sure we have both of those boundaries represented. So we'll divvy up our number line here. And I'll put 0 right in the middle. Here's 2, here's 4. And we'll go to -2 on that left-hand side. Now in this case, the boundary on the left is an open circle because X is greater than -1. On the right, X is less than or equal to 2. So that's a closed boundary circle. If X is in between them, technically our arrows will overlap and connect. So that would be anything in between -1 and greater than or less than or equal to +2. Now over on the right, when or is written in the expression, that means you're going to have arrows that go in opposite directions. x is less than or equal to -3, or x is greater than 1. Again, you'll want your number line to represent those boundary values. So let's see here, I'll put 0 right in the middle. I've got 2 and 4, -2 and -4. So just kind of divvy it up, and you can divide it up however works best for you. You don't have to identify every single coordinate on that number line, but you are going to want to draw them in. It says x is less than or equal to -3, so I'll go over to -3, and I need a closed circle boundary. Notice the arrow points to the left, so on my number line, less than will also point to the left. Or x is greater than 1, I'll go to 1 on my number line, and that's going to be an open circle boundary. And since x is greater than, the arrow points to the right, it will point to the right on the number line as well. Here's where arrows go in opposite directions. Equivalent inequalities mean you want to solve your inequality for your variable. Isolate the variable to the left-hand side and get everything else on the other side. One thing to note, if you ever multiply or divide by a negative number, you're going to want to switch the direction of the inequality. If you're simply adding or subtracting or multiplying by a positive number, then your inequality sign will stay the same. Let's take a look at some examples on the right. 5x plus 2 is less than 7x minus 4. Notice we want to get our variable on the left-hand side. I'm going to take the 7x and then move that over using the opposite operation. 5x minus 7x would be -2x. We still have plus 2, and on the right we have -4. I'll move the plus 2 over by subtracting it. And then we have -2x is less than -6. To get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by -2. Recognizing that when we divide by a negative, our sign for the inequality will change directions. It goes in the opposite direction from what it originally was. On the right, -6 divided by -2 is +3. On a number line, that would be an open circle at 3, and your arrow would point to the right. Your number line should look something like this when you're done. Go ahead and pause the video and try the next example. Again, get x by itself on the left-hand side, and then see if you can plot your solution on a number line. Taking a look at my work, I ended up with a solution x is greater than or equal to -4. Noting that if x is on the left-hand side, I put my closed dot boundary at -4, and my arrow points to the right. Now down below, we have an example of compound inequalities. When you solve a compound inequality, notice that in between on the left-hand side just has one x variable. We're going to keep x in the middle. That means we have to get rid of everything else that's happening to it. If it's 6x minus 10, the first thing we'll want to do if we think about our order of operations but backwards is get rid of this subtraction by addition. If you add in the middle, you have to add not only on the left, but on the right as well. -5 plus 10 would be +5, less than or equal to. In the middle, the 10's cancel, and we have 6x. And then we have less than. On the right, 14 plus 10 is 24. To get x by itself, we'll divide by +6. If we do that on the middle, we have to do that on the left side, again, and the right side. In the middle, it cancels out, and that's great because we want x by itself. On the left-hand side, 5 divided by 6 doesn't reduce, so we'll leave it as 5/6. That's just a little shy of +1. We have x in the middle. On the right, 24 divided by 6 is +4. Ooh, that 6 looks like a B. I don't like that. Let's fix that. Sorry about that. Make that more 6-like. There we go. So if x is greater than or equal to 5/6 but less than 4 at the same time, to create our number line for our solution, remember we're not going to have arrows when we're done. This is going to connect over. So I have 0, 2, 4, maybe I'll throw 6 in there. There we go. On the left-hand side, 5/6, it's going to be a closed dot pretty close to 1. And at 4, it's going to be an open circle boundary. Since x is in the middle, we'll go ahead and connect them. Anything between 5/6 and positive 4 would make this a true or an equivalent inequality. Now our last one has the word or, and that means our arrows will go in opposite directions when we're done. Notice it's two completely different inequalities to solve. We'll solve them separately and see what we get. If we start off by subtracting 5 in that first inequality, we would get 3x is less than 6. And then if I divide by 3, I get x is less than 2. And then the word or, and we solve the other inequality. Add 7 this time, and we have 5x is greater than or equal to 30. Divide both sides by 5, that cancels, and we get x is greater than or equal to 6. So now to write our solution on a number line here, we need our two boundary numbers represented. So 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Noting that x is less than 2 means an open boundary. And because my arrow goes to the left for less than, it will go to the left on the number line. Or x is greater than or equal to 6. That would give us a closed dot at our boundary for 6. And it's greater than, so our arrow points to the right. And we'll finish the rest of our 1.6 notes in class.